Hello everyone, my name is Orlando Jones with Freq1cy Sound Design, and this is my Wwise demo reel. In this video, I will be showing you my implementation of sound design using Wwise in the first-person shooter game, Cube. The most common sounds you'll hear in a first-person shooter game are the gun sounds. I wanted to make sure that these sounds gave the player the feeling of holding a powerful weapon, while at the same time creating weapon sounds for the monsters that made them sound just as much of a threat to the player. I used Propellerhead's Reason to create all of my sounds in this project. The ability to group together sounds and add effects was very useful for what I needed to do. I started by finding normal gun sounds in my library of sound effects, then began layering sounds on top of the original layer. To create the low end, I did some EQing and added a bass enhancer to give it that full feel that I was going for. When creating the monster weapons, I wanted to give them a futuristic but deadly feel. So I implemented some laser sounds along with the original gun sounds to give them the feel that I desired for the project. I then continued to do this for the objects in the game, such as the ammo, armor pickups, and the transporter. There are parts in the game where doors needed to be opened in order to proceed through the level. For these switches, I wanted to give the effect of an artificial intelligence notifying the player that they have unlocked the door to the next area. To accomplish this, I recorded my voice, then added effects and Reason to complete the sound along with some EQ and compression. For the most part, I kept the original footsteps but changed it in some of the different surfaces. I made different footstep types for the enemies as well. For the ogre and other medium-sized monsters, I used a heavy thumping sound that lets you know that the enemy is coming for you, while the much larger enemies were given a much heavier sounding foot stomp to simulate the ground rumbling as they move near the main character. I then wanted to implement the sounds for the different states in the game. When the main character is near death, you can hear his heartbeat and his breathing increase to show that the player is in a very hostile situation. Throughout the game, there are power-ups that allow the player to do more damage to the enemies. So it was only right for me to include sounds that would show the more powerful state that the character is in.
Say hello to my little friend.
When the power-up is picked up, the player starts to get angry, and you can hear this by his grunting and heavy breathing. There are also times when the character has to fight or swim underwater, in which I notice he can definitely hold his breath way longer than I can. To make sure things sounded authentic, I wanted the player to hear the difference between being in the water and not being in the water. To accomplish this effect, I used a low-pass filter in the property editor to filter out the high frequencies when the character enters the underwater state. Well, this concludes my Wwise demo reel. I hope you enjoyed listening, and if you have any questions or would like to reach me, you can find me at freq1cy.com. Now, I will leave you with the rest of the demo to listen if you'd like. Thank you.